Why did they choose that specific date? I was speaking to some of the political people call me that same day. You think they care that they're seeing something in the newspaper? These people know what it is. It is only people who don't know that are like, oh my God, oh my God. The people themselves that are in those spheres, the community leaders and that, they don't care about that. They look at it like that's nonsense. You want to help the people. The money came. It came to you. Where did it go? You see some picture of some bald guy there. I don't know when I lost my hair and I became fair skinned. I'm already light skinned, but I don't know when I started looking like that. It was hilarious. But I didn't come on and do a video. Hey, I'm good. I'm here. I'm at work. No, for what? That same night was a Tuesday night where they had service. You didn't hear one blessed thing come out of his mouth that you see Isaac is arrested. Nothing. That should have been your sign that it was nonsense. God bless you. I hope that you are well, yourself and your loved ones. I'm excited that you've connected, that you have tuned in, and we're going to have a wonderful time being edified as always, I believe, and bring clarification while the edification is going on. It is your servant Isaac Apong, and I'm going into on this prophetic day as is National Refugee Day, and you know that is being celebrated this weekend worldwide. I seen as a perfect time to come out and to touch on some subjects and some matters, one subject and different matters, and I think is going to be wonderful. For those of you who are not in the GTHA, that's the greater, Toronto Halton area, I'm going to elaborate. So for some of the things I'm mentioning today, if you live in Toronto, please forgive me. Some of the people who listen obviously aren't from Toronto, they're from different parts of the world. So I get everybody on the same page so then they can understand. And when certain terms or things are said, it's easy for them to look it up, to Google, to search, to watch, the archives. I know this is the day and age of sound bites and clickbaits and all of that stuff, but there's still some people who love to learn, to read, to study, to put two and two together. So this will be a blessing for both. The ones who just want to hear something quickly, and then also the ones who like to know why things are the way that they are. I believe it will be edifying to both. So without delay, let's get into it. In National Refugee Day, it was a few years ago that outside of some of the different community things that I'm into and I'm doing, it is for the refugee and the asylum seeker matter. And I'm going to use refugee and asylum seeker I'll just say refugee so I'm not, dividing it too much. It was a few years ago that you seen the church miracle arena that I was at was at the forefront of that. And I am I have laughed, and we've enjoyed seeing the attempt of what was happening there at the church, specifically the pastor Danso, in all what he was saying concerning this stuff with the refugees, that he had no idea what was going on, and he doesn't know. I'm going to, me, I like proofs, I like evidence, I like receipts, I like facts, I like things being brought forth and direct. So I will play, I will show, we will look into things and see if those the tears that are being shed and all of the shouting that is being done, if there's any substance in it, or if there's another reason why all of that is being done. So let's get right into it. In 2023, early summer 2023, there was an immigration challenge. Now, immigration is where they're coming from. Immigration is where they arrive. So it wasn't an emigration, but an immigration challenge. And people had come from different countries, not necessarily one. And they found themselves here in Toronto, a little bit of Montreal, but mainly Toronto. And they were stuck, for lack of better words. When the people arrived here, We have something here in Toronto. Allow me to explain for those who are not here and don't know, that don't live here. Something called central intake. Now, central intake is the place, the address is downtown on Peter Street. That is the place where you will call if you need assistance, if you looking for shelter and such. So central intake's capacity is only about 26 people or so. So anybody outside of that, and of course more than 26 people need help, they end up just having to wait outside. They're not open 24/7. So if you show up there at 11 p.m., tough luck. So in that certain time in mid 2023, that's where you're seeing these clips. If you haven't seen, I'll play a few of them. And you have to know which clips are which, because unfortunately, there's some news people who are lazy, so they don't put together proper clips. So you'll see a clip being used from a different time to match a story of another time, and if you don't know, you don't know. So the outside clips of people lining up and where they are, that place is outside of central intake. And central intake is on Peter Street, downtown Toronto. Now, when it closes after a certain time, you're just there until the next day when it opens. When it does open, unless somebody leaves, some of you know how a shelter system works. I didn't know. I had to learn on the fly as these things was presented to me. So for those who are already in the shelter system, they have a bed, so to say. But if they leave and they don't let the people know, they're going to lose their bed. So nobody wants to lose their bed. So therefore, most of the time, it is always full. So at most, what you get is they'll give you maybe a cup of juice. You get a little triangle sandwich and a piece of paper with some information, this number, call that number. And that's it. That's the most they can do because it's full. Now, it looks wicked because we see so many people outside and we're wondering what is going on. But these people who are opening and closing the doors, they're just workers. You can't blame them. They don't control anything. They're workers. Those who are even inside, the supervisors and managers, they're still just workers. They're not policy changers or anything like that. Workers are workers. So this got the attention of the community leaders and some of the faith leaders. So this is where Miracle Arena came into play. Some of the churches that were in Toronto that were supporting, and then also one or two of the Muslim organizations that were also supporting, they stepped in to do what they can. Some had space to put the people in, to sleep in their church. Did it for a few weeks, some about a month and a half or so. Some didn't have space to put the people to sleep in the church or in their facility, their unit, whichever. Some just only came to drop off food or to give counsel or just any type of support like that. All right. But as for Miracle Arena, it was the senior pastor who decided that, you know what? We've brought these people by means of bus. Miracle Arena's in Vaughan. That's north of Toronto. So these people were picked up by bus. That church, so the church buses that were not working there, the one shuttle that they got to work, that is the one that they used to pick the individuals up. As they pick the individuals up and have to do 2 or 3 trips, if what have you, they'll come to the church, find something to eat, just linger around for the day, then they go back. Do that again another day. Then it's like, how long are we going to do this? Because basically we're giving the people something to eat, but then we're dropping them right back. What's the point? They're still outside. They're still sleeping there overnight. So that is where the pastor said, can we get these people to stay here, to sleep here? I don't know. I've never been in that situation before. My line of work is safety, close protection, security. That's my line of work. So if you ask me things concerning my line of work, I can give you an answer. If there's anything else, I need a moment to study, to ask, to network, because I don't know. I don't like to bite off more than I can chew. So I'm not sure. So though even his wife wasn't in agreement with it, he said, yeah, let's bring the people. That is how these individuals ended up at the Miracle in the church. Because he quickly told the bus driver, take the bus, pick him up, and bring him there. Now, when you're bringing them on site to the church, there's maintenance and there's sustenance. There's nowhere for them to sleep. For the other churches, they slept in the church on chairs. But as for him, he said he doesn't want them to sleep in the church. So if they're not going to sleep in the church, where are they going to sleep? Now we have to get them beds. So immediately, we have now, in trying to do humanitarian work or so, you immediately now took on a burden. It was over there. The burden didn't come to you. You went and took on the burden. Now, before you take on a burden, you have to calculate and manage and put two and two together before the burden becomes overwhelming, which it did. And we'll see what happened there. So that is how these people came. And when they came, it looked good that we got all of these black people, so to say, off the street. But now that they're here, what are they going to eat? Who's cooking? Who's buying? Where are they sleeping? Where are they staying? Men and women, we can't mix them. We got to look at the ages, all of these things. Now we need volunteers. Now we need people to be here around the clock. On a safety issue, we can't even just leave people on the property and say, okay, it's 10, 11, 12 o'clock, we're going. What if something happens? So now we have to be on call. Now, because my work is safety work, I'm leaving there 3, 4, at times 5 a.m., coming back 9 a.m. Now, as a volunteer, see, when people hear that I'm a minister at the church, people are saying, oh, the work that you're doing there is amazing in managing the shelter. It's an emergency shelter, not the shelter. In times of an emergency, things are adjusted. So if you have to makeshift things, okay. But a temporary solution cannot be a permanent solution. So on that lot, when people hear there are people that are staying on that lot, they automatically think everything is good and taken care of. So the behind the scenes and the challenges, nobody knows. So if you see the news are saying that, oh, there's a lot of people being helped here, all of the running up and down and things to make the wheel turn, nobody knows. So the decision is made by the senior pastor to bring people in. This is not a board decision. When I was looking at these documents, I was wondering, I seen one minister was removed. One day, a minister who had left on the board. The next day, my name was put on. I wasn't told I was on any board. I didn't give consent to be on any board. I wasn't asked to be on any board. I didn't sign anything. I didn't verify anything. I did nothing at all. So when I'm finding out I'm on the board, I'm as shocked as whoever. My wife is like, oh, you're on the board? I was like, I'm on the board? I didn't know I'm on the board. Who signed my signature? Who? When? So when you mention or you hear, well, the church made a decision, there's not a collective time that the church came together and voted on the decision. When you hear and the church is doing this and the church made a decision, when the senior pastor is saying that, he means he made a decision. Because there is no board meeting I've been a part of. One, you don't know you're on the board. Then two, you don't even get any benefits of being on the board, which is even just simple transparency. So you find things out after. Someone can tell me something and I'm finding out Right when they're telling me that, oh, this is what's going on. I'm like, oh, really? I didn't know. Ah, how didn't you know? You're on the board. Sir, I didn't know I was on the board. Where's the document I went to sign to be on the board? What day was that? So, if a decision is made, then we have to remember the scripture. It says if one is going to build a house, you must first count the cost. You don't want to bring shame to yourself at the end to say, I'm going to do this, and you haven't counted your costs. You don't know your materials. We have to look at these parables and look at scripture. So it looks good, maybe, for the political ambitions of thinking he's going to be a mayor. It looks good to say that I have helped these people. But you bit off more than you can chew. So now we have these individuals who've come once, twice, then you know what, let's let them stay here. I remember having that standing in the parking lot, and his wife was like, no, I don't think we should do that. And he asked, are we allowed to? Can we? Nobody knows. We're not shelter operators. We all have our different line of work. No, let's bring the people. He gives the order and brings the people over. Okay? Now the people have arrived. 1 day, 2 days, twice. A Caribbean restaurant in North York. They bought food for the people. Gave a discount of some rice and chicken and a drink for like $3, $4. Bought it for our, I don't know, like 40 or 50 people like that. Once, twice, no food was bought again. So there's no receipt, there's no invoice other than that. Those 2 times I know because I went there and drove to pick up the food and put it in the car and come and give it to the people. There is no invoice or no receipt at all that church can show that they were buying food and that given to the people. None. Anything that's mentioned or given is fake. None. This ain't like some places back home where when you say something, people should just take your word. It got to be fact checked. So if you say, yes, we bought food for 100 people for 40 days, 1 month, 30 days, which restaurant? Which grocery store? You're saying it. Let's call them and let's confirm. There's no place. So the donations that was sent to the church weekly, every Wednesday by Vaughan Food Bank was set up by myself and another director of a community organization. Nobody else in the church. You look at the burden of taking on people, and then you know that, man, it's a full commitment. So you have to be boots on ground and leading by example if you decide to take on people. It's like someone, sorry to say, having a child, and then after they have a child, they look at other family and friends like, why is it you're not taking the child? You didn't change the diaper, you didn't feed the child. They didn't tell you to have a child. They weren't there when you and your spouse had that conversation. They didn't decide anything like that. You just dropped it on them. Ideas without input equals a burden. They always remember me saying that. Ideas without any input or labor is a burden. If someone gives you an idea, you should do this, you should do this, you should fix this, you should do that, and they're not contributing, they're not helping, they've given you an idea and just dropped a load on you, done nothing to support. Now it's become a burden. You weren't thinking of doing any of these things. They brought it to your attention. So the ideas are nice. We're going to build this. We're going to do this. I was like, oh, that sounds nice. Then after that announcement, so Isaac, how do we do this? Huh? I don't know. You just announced that we're going to do it. I thought you had a plan. So we're now going to figure it out? Okay, then let's figure it out. But then if I notice that, wait, am I the only one doing late nights and early mornings trying to figure this thing out and trying to help these people? Then why are we making announcements for things we can't do? So if you notice, There are original news clips, and then there are the church edited news clips. Let me play you one, for example. This is the one of the senior pastor asking for support, for money, for people to help out, and mentioning that he's having the church members take people into their place and that. Listen to it.
Bringing them. There's a bus that is bringing them. We have almost about 80 people right now that we are bringing in every day to make sure that we take care of them and clothing them. So that's what the church is doing right now. Being working as a United Nations ambassador, we have this issue beyond control, and I've been told that there are more coming in. This is even just the beginning. And so what we are trying to do is to familiarize ourselves with the people and try to let the church members accommodate them. And so as private people, church, and the community, we've taken upon ourselves to take care of them because they have no hope anywhere. But these have come to a position where they've lost. It looks like they're not human. And we're pleading and begging, let this be a touching story to come to the aid of these people.
Now, for those of you who don't know, from the time that it was reported that there's also help needed in Vaughan, in York region, that there's refugees and asylum seekers there, there's only one or two agencies who came to support initially. The rest of them we had to reach out because they didn't even know. They didn't even expect it. They just thought it was a Toronto problem. If you notice in that and some of the other videos, some have been removed, archived, so it can't be seen online, but then there's still some, so you can see it before they try to take it down. You can see that at the beginning of services, these videos are played. Whether it's prayers or services and beginning and announcements in the church, these videos are played. These things are said. So we want you to give for the people. We want you to give because we're trying to do this. Now, when the people are giving, I didn't, like I said, no, I was a board member. Because when the people are giving, we should be able to see how much was given and where that money is going to. We should know. There should be transparency. If we say we're putting a door there and we raise money for that door and that door is not there, we should come back and say we didn't put the door there because of this. This is how much money that was raised. Instead, okay, we're going to put a window there so the people know. As some of the leaders were asking in those leaders meetings that they would have, why don't we have reports, whether annually, whether quarterly? Why don't we have reports like some of these other places? It's regular. Money shouldn't be a mystery here. I said, that's a very good point. We should ask the leadership. Because if you're talking about the leadership, a board, all these executive, whatever, any names you want to use, it just sounds nice. At the end of the day, it's the senior pastor and his wife. That's it. There's not one pastor there in that church, not one pastor there that even has the access code to go into the admin room. That code, myself, when I was there, and nobody has access, no pastor has access to go in there. I don't care if you built the room and painted the door. You don't go in there. That room doesn't even have any money in it. It's not even the accounting room. It's just an admin room. The only thing that is in that room is folders, files, papers. The few papers that are there are guarded more than the money. That's strange. If you're guarding papers more than anything else, as I think about it in these recent times, that lets me know there's something wrong with the papers. That is where receipts and invoices are kept or should be kept. And you know you have to produce your receipts and your invoices. You know you're in trouble. You can shout and alligator tears galore. There's there's going to be no production of receipts and invoices because you prayed, because you fasted. It's not going to come out of anywhere. Because if money was mismanaged, and then later on, one will try to put someone in, hey, it was this guy's fault. Oh, she did this. He should take the fall. Let her be the scapegoat. It will never work. You can say something on one side, but if on the other side it doesn't back up, it doesn't work. That room there, no pastor, no minister, no rep, no, but none of them have access there. It's only a few of those women that do the paperwork for him. That's it. Himself, his wife, and those few women. That's it. So when now it's time to provide, to show whoever asks, to show that, hey, this is what we've been doing. We said that we've helped 60 people here. This is the books to show. We said we bought all this food. We said that we did this with the money. When it's time to show, that's when panic comes in. That's when one will be acting hysterical because they know, oh shoot, I got nothing to show. What can we say? Who can we flip it on? Like that. So at council, services and meetings on the church platform can be removed, can be hidden, can be deleted, archived, no problem. But things that are done at council, it's archived, it's kept for the public, it's open to the media. When I go to speak at council, whether on city level, regional level, provincial, whichever, global, any council I go to speak at, I'm not going to go there and freestyle. I'm not going to go there and just talk. I'm going to write down what I have to say. I can't talk on what I feel like. I have to stay on topic. I can't improvise. Some of the places, they want to know not just what you're talking on, they want to know what you're saying. Some of them, especially like if they're going to transcribe it like the UN into other languages. So you send in your deputation, your statement, your speeches even before time. So you can't go there and freestyle. So now we have the people there. And later on in the year, some months have passed by, we go to speak at council. Because for all these months, I'm wondering, how come the city is not supported? What is it? Is it demonic? Is it spiritual? Is it because we're black? What is it? Why is it that the region is not supported? How come they're not coming in to help these people? They have beds there. The Canadian Red Cross has beds in a certain area. They're not going to give us any beds. Why? Don't these people see that they're sleeping on the floors in the church? Don't they see that, it's challenging? Why aren't they supported? God forgive me. If you don't know, you don't know. So we're thinking, there must be something wrong with the city. They must be racist. Which that is there like in every city though. But they must be really pinpointed on us because we're black. That's what it looked like at the beginning. But then I found out it wasn't so. A quick pause to appreciate and thank you as you are here, as always, for clarification and edification. I want to thank you for taking the time, and I want to ask you to double check if you're not subscribed. Please subscribe so that way you get any notifications whenever I come on. And for those of you who would like to ask questions, I try my best to answer comments, but my schedule is never been regular, so it'll be a little bit easier for me when I come on for the private sessions for the smaller community. So please consider joining that community, and whichever one it is. So the Q&As for the expounding of some scriptures, the looking at of some documents, the getting into private and deeper conversations will all be done in that platform and in those sessions. So as you do that, let's get right back into it. So we're not sure if it's because they're segregating us, maybe because, we're of another community or ethnicity. We don't know what it is. But it can't be that, because when some of these organizations find out that, oh, there are people here who need support, they would come to give their support. It was in July, shortly after, they held a pastor night at Les Jardins, where Blue Doors and other agencies was there. The mayor even came. Some of the council members came. I know so because I got a call from the mayor personally on that day, appreciating us for the work that we're doing, and that I said thank you. Now he's getting ready to go over there. We said, oh, okay, we're gonna be there too tonight. Wonderful. We go by. There's a check that is given for the work that they're doing for the refugees and that and that. So Danso takes the check. The man gave me the check. I took it, gave it to him. I don't know if it was for $1. I don't know if it was for $1 million. I don't know how much the check was for. 10,000, 1,000, 50,000. I don't know. He didn't open it. Thank you. He put it in his pocket. It wasn't a personal check for him. It was for the work that we're doing for the refugees. If I'm to ask now, that money that was given, can it be shown where it went? It will be a struggle. We'll make it spiritual, that this is a spiritual attack against the church. But funding was given for a purpose. I mentioned it in my previous video, but I know people, it went over some of their heads because they were overwhelmed, as I was also with these things of the girls and the minors. So that part I knew, though I was mentioning it, these things will go over some of the people's heads. That he's going to the police, he's doing false reports, the money that was given, where did the money go? We don't know, because the United Way of Greater Toronto gave 3 grants, bum, bum, bum. I put it all on the screen. You could have paused and zoom in. You could have emailed those people if you want. I didn't block anything. If it was too personal, like showing that the money was going to the church account, I blocked it. Other than that, it was there. So, money was given, support was given to the church in the church account. As I said before, I say it again. Me, Isaac Opong, receive $1 from the church or on the behalf of the church, on behalf of refugees. Me talking to someone, hey, give me money because I'm doing this for refugees. Huh? You will struggle even if you 419 a bunch of documents to show that. You will struggle. So when the calls are being made, and you have these little girls, Monica and them, making calls to people, hey, has Minister Isaac ever done anything, gotten any money? Has he asked for any money on the behalf of the church? Has he? I heard all of those. Those conversations have come back to me, and I laugh at it. I didn't feel like I'm going to come and do a video for that stuff. Quite frankly, I got work, I have business, I have community to work on, I have family to love. I am busy. So when I come and speak, I do a one-stop shop. I'm not going to be on doing part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. I'm not one of those type of people. So when these funds are given and these supports are given, they're given with a target. It should go towards here. It should do this. So if those funds are given and that is still not done, then we got an issue. Now I understand why that office, no pastor can go in there and is guarded more than any other room. We go to Speaker Council. This is public record, as all meetings are. We're getting ready to go and Speaker Council. I get a call a few moments before 9. Isaac, where are you? I'm at the York Region building. Why? Where are you? Oh, I'm at the church. No, I'm going to do the deputation from the church. Oh, why? We have it in person that we're going to speak here. an update on the asylum seekers, the refugees, and that. So myself and the other community leaders that are there, it catches us off guard. We don't even know. So when it comes time to do the deputation, the senior pastor does the deputation from the church, taking his cell phone, walking to go and show. So let's look at it. Because now at this time, not just are the people at council hearing it for the first time, me too, I'm also hearing it for the first time. So let's take a look.
Today, marking 8 months, we have been housing our dear African refugees and asylum seekers on our property, 10,800 Western Road. Maybe you may not be aware, but 10,000 Western Road has been the hub of all the refugees in York region. Currently, we have almost about 68 people right now at the church premises. Because of my time, I will take you to the place where these individuals are. And what today we are having to face here is these individuals, some of them don't have any means or funds. We have to find a way to feed them.
Now, this is in November, saying that today marking 8 months. You go back, that takes you to March. You know, when you say things, you can say things, but to prove things now become different. There's no refugees there in March. So I'm there with people, and we're all like TV. We're watching it on the projector. We don't know what he's gonna say, and we're watching it for the first time. So already, when some of them ask like, "Oh, did you know that he?" I said, "I have no clue. I don't even know what's happening right now." So let's see.
These individuals right in this church, some of them don't have jackets, some of them don't have any winter gear, and we have to find a way to protect, provide them this material, this thing, so that it will help them to be able to walk in this weather. Chair, we have a serious issue, and the issue is that sometimes we don't even have means of taking these individuals to the hospitals. As if they go into the hospitals, they don't even give them the better treatment. Yesterday, we find out that one of the African refugees, a young age, have a cancer, and she didn't know, and she had a stomach pain.
Dr. Danso, you're frozen. You're probably moving around too much for your phone. There you are. Go ahead, sir.
Right now, we have this portable where people are housed in. We have other portables here that people are housed in. We have these individuals here who are actually, I'm not sure if you can see, there is these individuals here who are actually sleeping here. We need to have a place. We need to have beds for them. They are sleeping on bare floors. We need to have bed for them. We need to have bed sheet for them. We need to have little things that will make their life comfortable. We are asking that York region will help the church to take care of these individuals who are currently housed at the church premises. It is of a great need that the region also, the funds that have been allocated to those in the hotel.
30 seconds left, Doctor. About 30 seconds. Go ahead.
The funds that has been allocated to the hotel, these funds also will help the 65 and 68 people right at the church premises, so they can also have support as the others in the hotel have support. Chair, this is a great concern to us, as these individuals, all their hope they have in Canada is the little support we can give to them. I'll be glad if we will hear back from the council on how these individuals can be supported. Thank you very much.
So if you noticed, by the time he's mentioning that there's this many people there, he just had to drop the camera because nobody was there. Nobody was there. So I'm sitting there watching like, what is the angle with this? So if you're saying that money has been given and you want some of the money to be given to the church, and if the money goes to the church, you're not giving it to the people. So if the money goes to the church, now we understand it's going to you. To pull at the hearts of the people and to make them feel emotional, I see the tactic, but we're sitting there like, at the time, like, what is this? So we didn't get the angle because now we haven't talked to discuss, oh, okay, you're gonna do it on Zoom and we have no clue. And of course, if you're going to make a executive decision as the one-man bandman and a board and a senior pastor, you can say and do whatever you want. But after, if there's repercussions, you can't blame demons. So we watch, we hear the points, and the three things that I mentioned, 3 or 4 things I mentioned, oh, not having jackets and such and such. So before I show you my deputation, I'm just showing parts. You can watch the full thing online if you wish. It was in November 2023 and that. Before I show mine, you can see now these 3 things that he mentioned, those issues were solved, not by the city, not by the region. We solved it. You said the people have nowhere to sleep on. No problem. I got Habitat for Humanity's Canadian Distribution Center to give us beds. Oh, the people are living bad. They have clothes hanging outside. Okay. I got them to give washer and dryer. 2 sets. They have no linens. Okay. The refugees are at that hotel at the Hilton Garden. I went across to the Spring Hill and the other hotels, spoke to the managers. Got about 200 duvets, pillowcases, and linens. All of this is being done on my time while I'm doing my work and things. All volunteer. Not a dollar. Winter is coming. They don't have any jackets and there's no funding for them. Okay. Got the United Way of Greater Toronto. Spoke with them. Had 2 meetings in person and then a bunch on the phone to give 3 grants. The grants come to you. How can we now continue complaining of funding? There shouldn't even be any announcement in the church that we need money, give money for this, because the money came. It came to you. Where did it go? So the issue is this. The things that were asked, the things that was the emotional pull point, the things that was the talking points, because even me, myself, I was like, oh, I'm watching it like how everyone at council is watching it. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay. I think I can work on that. Okay, let's see if I can contact someone for that. Okay, let's see if we can go and speak to some people. Okay. And those things all were dealt with. They don't have anywhere to sleep. The units. Okay. Spoke with some of the construction people. I was going to get, almost got, and then they gave it away. A 2-level porta pack was going to be given. I was trying to get a unit with a washroom. Why? Because I said, if people are in this place, they need to use the washroom. They shouldn't have to come outside and to walk across to the church to use the washroom. If we have to pay someone to do the service to clean it out, I don't know how they do it once a week, once a month. Like I said, I haven't done this before. I'm just trying my best to manage. Then we pay for someone to do that service. If we don't have the money in the church account, which I don't understand why we would not, then okay, whether we bind together, whether we ask the congregation who would like to support with us, then we do that. But I'm thinking it's better than having someone use the washroom, they shower, then now they have to walk back outside. They're going to get sick. Okay? Don't get that porta pack, the 2-level one, it goes away. Now I'm thinking, okay, no, I think I can do this thing. I was close. I almost got it. Oh. And as one of the directors at Metrolinx, who came over after seeing one of the CBC news clips, she said, Isaac, your superpower is connecting people. Your superpower is putting things together and helping people. And I said, I like that. So I like that. So call, connecting this one, this one, this one. That's how we got those two new 12 by 60 trailers from Will Scott delivered there. And that's where you see even that clip there. So when it's saying the Miracle Arena is doing this, Miracle Arena is doing this, for the most part, what you seen was the photo op after of the senior pastor coming in. Hey, this is what we're doing. Yeah, we're doing this. And you see him asking for money and money. But the work, the late nights and the early mornings, all of those things that are being done there, man, I got emails and documents galore to show that that volunteer, it wasn't easy. So you have these things that he had asked for, hoping that the region, hoping that the city would give. It was answered by myself and a few of those community leaders. That wasn't as fulfilling though, because he would hope that if the region gave it, they'll give him a contract. That it would be a big something. But we got it done for free, keeping good connections and resources with people, building bridges. Maybe it wasn't as sexy, wasn't $1 million contract, it wasn't a big spectacle, but these things that you asked for, it was done. So who cares if you didn't get it and get a big contract and then a big standing ovation? We want to help the people. They were helped. That's it. As I bump into the new family, who is not even the new family anymore because they've integrated quite well, when some of them tell me their stories, when I found out now why some of the women left, it relates to some of the things from my previous video. When some of the guys are telling me some of the things challenges, I say, you know what? It's good then you left. If that was happening. And balancing being at the church and the hotel and then just back and forth, I wasn't always at the church. So if some things was happening there, I didn't know. Hopefully people will update me. But for the most part, if they don't tell you, you don't know. In life, we don't walk around knowing everything or having eyes at the back of our head. So we don't know. So when we're wondering why the city and the region is not helping, why are they pulling away supports? You go to give deputation and asking for support, all of a sudden then they're pulling away. Why? I'm wondering, why is it that they're saying this can't be built? The water can't be used. Now, as I had in this last recent times even, some things sent to me. Some directly, some anonymously. Some things sent to me. I was like, oh, okay. So it makes sense why it didn't allow a building, a putting together of this and that. Imagine they're given at a point they couldn't even drink the water. They were given a water advisory. They had to put stickers all over the place. I'm thinking, what are the odds that all of a sudden they came to do a water testing and they found something in the water? How? We've been here for a few years. We never, again, speaking too early. That's not my lane. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a water tester. I don't know. If they found something in the water, as it was now explained to me after by the gentleman, it makes sense. The church is on a septic. The church is on a septic. They're not connected to the city line. So when that septic is overflowed and they're pumping, sorry to say, that feces water, that bathroom water, that dirty water, when they're pumping that out, if you're connected to the city, you can actually, you don't have that problem because you're connected to the city line. But they're not connected to the city line. And the amount of people who are there in the church services that they have, people have to use the washroom. So now when they have to do that service and flush that out and do all of that type of work and labor, definitely the pastor is not going there to do it. Those 1-2 men that are there every day doing all of that work, God have mercy on them. They're doing whatever they can. And they better hope their name ain't on documents also. So he's going to be keeping his name away. He's going to tell you, please, do this to the septic, do that to the septic. And that water, that dirty water, is being pushed, be it in this part of the parking lot or down this ravine area or such and such. So when the people then come and they test the water, and they come to find out that, oh no, this water has this in it, this is dirty, this has this, and they give a boil water advisory, and they say no one is allowed to drink this water. They shouldn't use this water. Now we understand it's not that a demon has entered these city people. Where's the demon in it? It's common sense. You flush dirty water here, is it not the same? It's dirty water. So if they test it, of course, they're going to find something in it. It's dirty water. It's washroom water. I'm trying to be sensitive on my words. So that water, of course, that should be away. No one goes to build a house unless he first counts the cost. If you can't do something, you don't bite off more than you can chew. Lesson for everybody. So, it makes sense now. Forget the fact of, I got the screen recording sent to me. Isaac is calling the city. Some of these things that's happening with the church is because Isaac is calling the city. Me call the city. You think the city cares about me? And you think I have time to call the city? You think the city doesn't know that the helicopter, that there are people who they've sent? You think the city doesn't know? Little old tiny me, I can control the city. I'm powerful, but am I that powerful? With all of the things that are happening, it's because Isaac did. Isaac called these people. Isaac got it. Eish. I don't even think I'm that important. For the last 8 months or however long it's been, when people are telling me things and sending me clips, because I don't watch no service, you're not even hearing preaching happening in that church. Why am I being made that important? I don't even revere myself as that important. Because when someone is panicking, when someone is scared and they're shook, when they see that, oh shoot, all of this stuff that I've been doing is getting exposed, this is being found out, this is collapsing, then, as it worked for some of us and others in times past, spirituality is pushed. It's a demon, it's this, it's that. No, this mayor, no, this MPP, no, this MP, the prime minister, the councillor, the regional councillor, the clerk, it's a demon, they're after me, it's a demon. Hey, listen, I always said there's a difference between a ministry and a church. No one can fight or close or bring down the church of God, because the head of the church is Christ. But when you are talking about a ministry ends. Ministries get ended all the time. But the church cannot end. He's the author, the finisher, the foundation, the cornerstone. He's the head. He's everything. That is Christ. He's everything. So no one can fight the church. I always say, no one can fight the church. No one. There's no Muslim or Hindu or atheist. No one can fight the church. But a ministry, don't try to make a ministry the church. A ministry is personal. Those end all the time. Those, when people are out of the line and that, it gets limited and disconnected. But for the church of God, who would not want to see an elevation of the body of Christ? So this here, when you are seeing things come together and is amalgamating, it cannot be. It cannot be because someone is fighting the church or a demon has entered in this one. So a demon has entered into everybody but you. So when I'm sitting there Some of you don't know. And that day in April, I'm in one of my Zoom meetings, and I had another meeting and that to get to. I get a message. It was April 15th, I believe it was a Tuesday. What some of you don't know is that as the senior pastor of the church, you wanted to be a mayor or some type of political something. I don't know, to push being a true ambassador or something. So when those talks was being brought up, Isaac, you should run for this. The other reverend, you should run for this. Then and pushing that I'm gonna run for this. You should go for this. You should go for this. Okay, there's nothing wrong with having political ambitions. Just do it the right way. I believe in church and state. I believe Christians should be involved in government. I believe 100%. When Elisha, seeing that the woman was having her heart wasn't at rest, he asked her, "What would you have me to do for you? Do you want me to talk to the king? You want me to talk to this?" He knew the king. He knew that he had. It's not like when you were spiritual, you were away from political things. No, you're going to have a church. The church shouldn't be an island. It shouldn't be separated from everywhere. You have to work with the powers that be. A pastor is not above everybody. If there's a political whoever there, the pastor and that person, they should be on the same page. Because if you're going to need a permit, if you're going to need some zoning work, if you're going to need any approvals, you will need that individual. It's not an archangel that will come and give you that. It is the individuals there that God has put in place. There's nothing unspiritual about that. That's biblical. So to have church and state together, some people don't like getting into the politics of such and such. No, you should. Why not? You don't vote for the right person to come in. Someone else goes in. There's no point in now praying against that person who's gone in. You should have voted. It's simple. Church and state do go together. So when those talks was brought, Isaac, you should do this, you should do this. I don't really care to. Oh, but you're good at this. You go here. You're not interested in this? No, not really. I know my work, what I'm doing, my business that I'm doing. I know my lane. I know what God has already shown me. I stay in my lane and I flow in my ministry. So, in wanting and pushing that, I said, okay, you're in school for this. You're in school for this. You should look into running for this, running for that. So that was an internal talk. Nobody knew, other than, of course, my wife and children. Nobody knew, other than that internal talk, that he wants to run for this. He would say it as a joke, and hinting it. So then he can try to make it look like, hey, remember I said it. But nobody knew that they're letting me know that, hey, Isaac should run for this. He'll say it as a joke. Isaac will be a good mayor. Isaac will be a good counselor. You see me just sitting there. So what you all don't know is this article comes out April 15th on that Tuesday. That was the date where the new candidates for the city of Vaughan were meeting. Why did they choose that specific date? I even posted and I said, for the untrained eye, they won't know that this is chambers. They'll think it's court. I even posted on my story. I was out at City Hall that day. I was speaking to some of the political people called me that same day. You think they care that they've seen something in the newspaper? These people know what it is. It is only people who don't know that are like, oh my God, oh my God. The people themselves that are in those spheres, the community leaders and that, they don't care about that. They look at it like that's nonsense. You see some picture of some bald guy there. I don't know when I lost my hair and I became fair skinned. I'm already light skinned, but I don't know when I started looking like that. It was hilarious. But I didn't come on and do a video. Hey, I'm good. I'm here. I'm at work. No, for what? I have other things to focus on. That same night was a Tuesday night where they had service at the Miracle Arena Church. You didn't hear one blessed thing come out of his mouth that you see Isaac is arrested. Nothing. That should have been your sign that it was nonsense. As it stands, the hopes of trying to have things done on the church ground, I believe it is quite clear to the leadership and all those who are around there that it's crumbling. If you are part of a church, things must be done a certain way for the church to stand. Let me say a ministry, sorry, not a church. For it to stand. Right now, as the leader is getting a whiff that, oh my God, this is being exposed. Oh my God, this is crumbling. We can't continue saying it's demons because people have access to things. I was there in the meeting where the city asks, you guys have been asking for refugee support and such and such. Okay, we got a hotel. We want you guys to bring the people to. Danso said no. The city planner and those officials were there in a big round table, quick meeting. It was quite quick. They went direct right to it. We have this location here. We're able to help these amount of people. We can send the bus to assist for them to transport such and such. And not to transport them in the wrong way that I spoke to the IRCC about that they should stop doing, and thankfully they heard, but transport them in the right way, to come and to pick them and to take them to the next place. Not to take them to, somewhere very far. Danso said no. After that meeting, I don't think it was 2 hours. Boom, he got hit with a cease and desist. The cease and desist, number 1 on there should be no place of worship, no service. So as he's there, you shouldn't be having any church. They were hit with a cease and desist. And then all these structures and these things, remove that. So in order to pull on the hearts and play the emotional card, I don't know how to, forgive me, I'm not an actor. I don't know how to do that and the panting and the crying. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. So sorry. If you're expecting me to go bar for bar when people do that, then I come online, then I cry. Then I don't know how to do that. I look how I look, I sound how I sound. I don't know how to do that. So I don't come to pull on people's emotions. If I'm right for something, I stand on it. If I figure I was wrong on something, hey, I was wrong. Oh, whether you like it or not, I apologize. Take it, don't take it. That's me. So when I'm now finding out that, hold on, some things ain't adding up, I don't think it's a demon working through these people against the church. It's not adding up because it looks like they're trying to help. So we've done what we could do. The majority of it was me. Helping, volunteering, connecting. I'm not taking all these pictures and photo ops. I met with this one today. I did this with that one today. So when you're seeing all of those photo ops, most of the time you're not even seeing me in those photo ops. I'm there, but I'm at the back. I'm in the corner. I may even taken some of the pictures. I'm not in it. Because if I know that the relationship with this person, I can't sustain it. I don't care if I meet CEO of this, director of this. If I can't sustain that relationship, I know we're not going to do anything in the future. There's no point of me posting it. It looks good, but it's empty. I rather genuine relationships that, yes, I've worked on this. Okay, I've done this community program. Then it's something that you can look up. You can search. You can look into and find out that, oh, yes, he got support for this. Oh, he did this. He handed in papers for this. Proper. So when the city now says we have someone we can take the refugees to, you said it's overwhelming, it's too much? Okay. We're here to take that burden off you. He says no. They hit him with a cease and desist. It was about 2 hours after he told me, oh, I just look at this email I got. Da, da, da. So I was like, oh, I'm reading it. He got hit with that cease and desist like, I don't know, 2 hours after that meeting, which means they were already ready. They just called you in that meeting to give you an opportunity. I didn't share a word. I was sitting there. The other community leaders, the other minister, the other worker, none of us spoke. That meeting was shorter than expected, and I didn't even know what we thought were. I didn't have an expectation, but it was shorter than whatever my expectation was. And by the time I know, oh, we're done. He's like, he told them straight, no, we will not be letting the people off our property. We'll not be removing them. Da 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 da. Got up and left. So I'm looking around like, that's it. We came down here for this. So it can't be said now that the people aren't supporting us. They offer support. You turned it down. You get hit with a cease and desist that you shouldn't be having service and doing all of these things. You have to remove these structures. This is not too cold, all of that. You can't say, oh, and Isaac called the city. A year later or however long it is, then to blame it on me. Because I was there in the meeting, shocked like everybody else. And in the meeting, it is the senior pastor of the church who said, no. Someone is coming, you say you want help, and someone is coming to give you help, and then you say no. Then you don't want help. That means you have an agenda. So, in order for them to not enforce the cease and desist, the refugees are used as a human shield. We're helping the people there. We can't stop having services because we're helping the people. We're helping the people. Now the refugees are ready to go. The refugees are good. There's no point in them staying here. They're connected now to the social services. Some of them are working. They're good now. They're starting to send money back home to take care of the kids who they left and such and such. They're doing okay. They're updating me. We were having our meeting today in church. All the Muslims now are gone. They've connected with their community. They're good. So we don't need to keep them there. Oh, where are these people? We have to bring them back. We have to call the people back. They're ungrateful. Such is life. You help people for a season and they move on. They help you, you help them. That's it. They move on. No one is obligated to pay any dues or pay homage for anything. So therefore, using the people as the shield, there's this many people who are here. There's this many people who are here. That's where now, of course, you wouldn't know. But if you were watching, you notice then the conversations and the asking for money and the supports, you wouldn't see me doing it. It was just him, because I'm sitting there like, I don't understand what's going on now. This had now nothing to do with women and minors. This is just what started making me think. I'm like, what are we doing right now? I don't understand what's going on right now. So for those of you who get the clickbait and you see something and you don't like to, I finish where I started. You don't like to maybe read or research, or some of you are not even in this city. You are watching from afar, so you don't even know that there's the eye count. That is what tracks a lot of the homelessness issues and stats. The homelessness things is different from the refugee thing. It's not the same. So a lazy news person, when they're putting something out, they will take clips from here, clips from here, clips from here, and put it together. You don't know that, oh, that clip was from last year. That clip is in Toronto. This clip is from Bonn. This clip is not a part of this. This clip, these aren't refugees. These are homeless people. These aren't homeless people. You don't know. You just see something. And if you're not in that lane, you won't be able to dissect what is what. So for the people who do like the research, you are able to, glory be to God, because it's council, because things have to do with the city meetings and that you can't have access to the Zoom meetings, but all of these things, they're recorded. There's meeting minutes. They're archived. So you're able to go back and see that, oh, this was done, this was said, oh, this was done, like that. So when someone says something, I don't care if they're doing false reports and telling people to go to the police station and say these things like what the senior pastor there was doing. It don't matter if someone says something. If you can't double check it, verify it on the other side, scrap. So I appreciate those of you who were already like, I just got a few messages, not much, that minister, I seen this thing is nonsense. I said, me and you both, we all know it's nonsense. because there's a difference between just a lazy reporter, someone is picking something, copy and pasting it in that, and investigative journalism or investigative report. There's a difference. There's a difference when things are looked into and researched in that, than when they're just put out there, copy and paste, and someone listen. They gotta do what they gotta do. They gotta trend. If something is out, you gotta trend. So when I watch my people in our Ghanaian community posting things, they don't know the difference between TPS and YRP. I guess they don't even know the difference between someone who has dips in their hair and a bald head. I guess they don't. People just want to get on the curve, ahead of the curve, sorry, and just be trending, and then you don't want to have people posting things, and you're not posting things on your channel, and your channel is supposed to be doing that stuff. You're gonna post it too. So for those people, do your thing. I could care less. But for those of you who like to look into things and you be like, oh, so that's what that was. And those of you who like to zoom in and read and such, there you go.